independent audit into the allegations.
Also this afternoon, progressive cashew farmers in the Bono East region appealed to President Mahama for the establishment of a cashew processing factory within the region.
And Ghanaian Afrobeat artist King Promise wins his first ever Artist of the Year award at the 26th Telecel Ghana Music Awards.
Welcome to the bulletin. We start from here. A letter from the embattled former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Edubuahin, has raised serious concerns about the use of national security funds. Well, Edubuahin reveals, however, 49 million cedis was allegedly spent naming members of parliament among the beneficiaries. For a security consultant, Colonel Festus Abuaje, there's the need for transparency in the utilization of national security funds. There's more in this report.
In a letter dated May 5, 2025, and addressed to the National Security Coordinator, Kwabena Edubuahin, provided details on how over 49 million Ghana cedis alleged to have been stolen and laundered was disbursed. He claimed that some of the funds he is accused of misappropriating were used to cover allowances for members of parliament. Reacting to the revelations, security consultant and expert Colonel Festus Abuaje called for greater transparency in the way national security expenditures are managed.
A new Auditor General was appointed, who then went to the Supreme Court and said that from what he had seen, he was satisfied that there had been no wrong. Honorable Mr. Domelevo was asking the Supreme Court for an interpretation of Article 187 and its sub-clauses, which mandates the Auditor General to look at everything that is public account, including of institutions established by an act of parliament.
Speaking on the key points in reference to the letter from the embattled former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Colonel Abuaje emphasized the need for strict accountability in the use of public funds. He noted that such transparency is necessary to ensure public resources are not misused by officials under the pretext of national security.
Edubuahin's outfit, National Signals Bureau, was established by an act of parliament, 1040. And therefore, there is nothing in the act and not in the Constitution 187 which precludes the Auditor General from seeing what it is that these monies have been spent on. His wife was given security clearance, but not these other persons who needed to see the books.
Meanwhile, Kwabena Edubuahin continues to defend his innocence against allegations of financial impropriety. However, the Minister in charge of Government Communication, Felix Kwachofosu, has dismissed the contents of Edubuahin's memo, which alleges that funds were allocated to the opposition. According to him, it would be illogical for a sitting government to fund its political opponents to unseat it.
But the idea that a certain party, a party in government would actually finance their opponents to remove them from power, this my imagination. It defies logic, to be honest with you. I don't see how the MPP government would approve that significant amounts of money of the sort that Edubuahin mentions should be given to the NDC to boost our electoral operational capacity in order to defeat them in elections. It is most improbable.
In his letter, Edubuahin emphasized bewilderment at the Attorney General's attempts to link various transfers, withdrawals and refunds related to the special operations with certain assets. According to him, these assets either do not belong to him and his wife or were acquired before the 2020 transactions currently under scrutiny.
In more news this afternoon, the Progressive People's Party, PPP, has called for an independent audit and a parliamentary oversight of all special operations expenditures from 2019 to 2024 involving the embattled former National Signals Bureau boss Kwabena Edubuahin. The party has called for the establishment of a classified operations expenditure board with a mandate to review intelligence budget post-execution. And the former bureau spy is facing trial for his alleged involvement in a 49 million cedi fraud. He also claims to have spent over 8 million cedis on a political party in 2024 to procure election coalition logistics and equipment. In a memo addressed to the National Security Coordinator, the former spy chief accused the Attorney General of launching a malicious prosecution against him. He argued that the 49 million cedis he is alleged to have misappropriated was actually used for covert national security operations. Nana Ofori-Owusu is the national chairman of the PPP and joins me live on Zoom. Good afternoon, Nana. And Nana, pardon me, you are saying that you talked about adopting international best practices. How different is our system from that of, say, the United States of America?
Well, my brother, no intelligent doctrine, foreign or domestic, permits such opaque conduct. If we tolerate it under the banner of special operations, we effectively sanction impunity in the heart of our national defense structure. Nowhere in this world can you find, when you do covert operations, you must account. In the United States, as you speak of the CIA and the NSA, they have to go to the Senate to be able to account, intelligence committee, to receive annual reports and special reports of the Director of National Intelligence. If you go to the United Kingdom, the M16, M15, Parliament's Intelligence and Security Committee receives classified briefings and audits. In Canada, the CIS, the CSIS, they also go to give retroactive reviews, classified spending to ensure legality. So in Ghana, whilst we have the Act 1030 and 1040 that provides the legal framework, oversight is minimal, and classified expenditure is not subject to any known independent audit. It must change. Because we cannot sit here and allow, under the cloak of special operations, monies to be passed to spouses' accounts. And I wish to say that we, Ghana, sitting here, are not sophisticated enough to set up operational systems that allows the Intelligence Bureau to carry out their activities without me bringing my wife, my children, my grandmother, my auntie, to be able to be part of that operation. This doesn't sit well with any right-thinking human being. And we can't allow this opaqueness that we don't know anything about to go on. And that is why we are saying that, look, I in a full agreement with people calling for audits. We are also understanding that the security matters of the state, must be treated with the highest form of respect and secrecy, and it's not something that goes out. But the parliament that set the law. We cannot say the parliament cannot set up a special intelligence committee that will be responsible for making sure they query these expenditures and make sure that they're within law. If you say you are sending money to political parties, I am a political party, the Progressive People's Party. Our inception since 2012 to date, we have never, ever received anything from any government, any security agency, any persons to support any activities that we have done. And so we need to know which selected political parties are receiving these special funds of state to be able to carry out their activities and their functions. It behooves the mind to think that such a thing can happen. And it is horrifying.
Nana, let me come in.
It is horrifying.
Nana, officials of government and party officials have also denied these claims, but you still insist that audit will help?
No, you cannot spend public funds without an audit trail, my brother. There is no such thing anywhere in the world that even if I give you approval to carry out covert operations, those covert operations expenditure must have a body that reviews it. And it must be within law, the activities for which you are engaged in. So if I do a covert operation that says that I will take out 20 people, is that lawful? So the activity itself must be reviewed. Okay. And the expenditure towards the activity must also be reviewed and audited.
Okay.
And so you cannot say that under the cloak of security, that you can do any activity, anything that you want, that is not subject to a financial scrutiny. And it is also, right now the Interior Minister is acting as the National Security Coordinator. Are you trying to say that there is no classified handing over report that speaks to the activity of the intelligence agency? And that it is only limited to a political party time in office? He should be in the know. He should be in the know.
Because of our time, I think we'd have to end it here, but we'll surely come to you for clarity moving forward. Nana Oforio-Wusu is the national chairman of the Progressive People's Party. The party is actually calling for an independent audit under parliamentary oversight of all special operations expenditures from the year 2019 to 2024. There's more news, Judith.
Absolutely. To issues about electricity supply, and the Minister of Green Energy Transition, John Abdullahi Jinapor, says the current challenges facing the country's power sector will be resolved by the end of this month as maintenance works are carried out across plants nationwide. Speaking to TV3, Jinapor emphasized the need for urgent maintenance works that had been postponed by the previous administration.
You'll realize that these few days, the power situation has been going through some challenges. And so we've come here to deliberate and to see how we can find solutions. What has come to light is that a lot of thermal plants that were supposed to go for regular maintenance in 2024, for some reason, the government then decided that they won't do that. So today, if you talk of the Pong power plant, you talk of the Bui power plant, you talk of the Tico, you talk of the TAPCO, you talk of the KTPP power plant. All these are plants that should have gone for routine maintenance last year. And so as it stands, they are at very, very critical risk. We can choose to also play along that line, but eventually the system will collapse. And so what we've decided is that these power plants should have a scheduled maintenance so that the disruption wouldn't be that much severe. But generally, it creates a bit of disruption. And so I've directed that the stakeholders, particularly GridCo, should organize a forum and explain to Ghanaians the need for this regular maintenance. Although, as we go through this maintenance, it will create some disruption. It is for the good of it. We need to do that so that the plants will be resilient, they will be strong. What I get is that within the month of May, they will do a lot of this maintenance, and June some minimal maintenance. So after the month of May, when they are done with the maintenance, bearing any unforeseen circumstance, we should be seeing a much more improved sector. But we have no choice than to service these plants. These are plants that have gone far beyond the minimum or maximum operating hours, which requires that they ought to be serviced. But as a responsible government and a minister, I have no choice than to allow them. I try to hold them back. But what I've realized is that if we hold them back for too long, it will compromise the integrity of the plant. And so I want to appeal to Ghanaians that even as we take this step, we will do everything we can to reduce the impact. But I want to appeal to Ghanaians to bear with us. It's a necessary step. It should have been done long ago. It's not been done. Now we have to do it. We can't continue to play the ostrich. Other than that, for instance, the Akosomo plant, if we don't allow them to maintain them, the Bui plant, they just told me that the blades are getting worn, the brushes are getting worn. If you don't work on them, eventually the entire plant, we can lose it. So we are better off doing them in phases and in bits. And once again, let me assure consumers that whatever it takes, we will do that to ensure that we maintain the system and that eventually we are able to provide reliable supply of power. The future looks good. It may be quite difficult in the immediate term, but it is necessary. The last one has to do with some transmission systems. If you take the Volta region, for instance, for almost a year now, the whole system has been overloaded, and as demand keeps increasing, the voltages go so low. And so if you take Volta region, if you take the Salaga area, if you take the Bimbila area, you take the Atebubu area, all those areas, their voltages are so bad, they virtually cannot use the electricity. And so we are putting a program together so that we go to cabinet and seek approval to see how we can enhance the system and put what we call some high tension cables and transformers to beef up reliable supply of power. But once again, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, it takes the mobilization of resources. We've inherited this system, very weak, very fragile, but we have to make the best out of it, and that's exactly what we are doing.
John Abdullah Janapor is the Minister for Energy. And away from power-related issues, the cost of congestion in Accra is a major challenge with hours of productivity lost to traffic. In this report, Judith Brown highlights the human impact of traffic congestion, the economic cost, and potential solutions to address the issue.
Imagine spending a third of your day stuck in traffic, just going to and from work. Well, welcome to Accra, where the roads are choked and productivity is taking a hit. Here, on the Medina to Accra stretch, commuters spend close to 3 hours stuck in traffic. They want government to do something about the situation.
Kojo spends an average of 6 hours each day commuting to and from work. That's 30 hours a week and 120 hours a month stuck in traffic.
Cashew to School Junction.
Wow.
Yes.
So what time did you wake up to move?
Around 5:30 to 6.
It's almost 9.
Yes. It worries a lot because of the time you are going to get to work and also close from work to home is very hard.
He's not alone. Several other workers spend countless hours stuck in traffic on their way to work.
There are times you need to get to your workplace earlier, but you wake up early, but you know the roads are not good and then the traffic situation, so you just have to cope. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, it's so disturbing, but you know, what can you do?
But yeah, it will be more than 2 hours. Serious.
People have to leave their home as early as 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock before they can get to the center of the city. Why? And when it happens like that, when they close to, they either have to run. They will not wait for the closure time to reach that they have to run from. So if they are closing at 5 o'clock, they will leave their workplace at 3 o'clock at the expense of productivity hours.
Despite the unavailability of sufficient data, it is clear that Accra's traffic congestion cost the economy in lost productivity. Interestingly, the cost of congestion is not just financial, it's also human. People are spending more time commuting and less time with their families and friends.
Impact on traffic congestion for commuters to their offices is so huge said that it affects them economically, politically, and then socially. When we bring all of them combined, it is costing a whooping sums of money that is difficult even to quantify. You see, it is so huge said that if you are asking me about a solution, government collects taxes and manages the economy. And if anything affected productivity, it means that it's going to affect the GDP.
In response to the traffic congestion, some residents in Accra have turned to alternative modes of transportation, such as motorcycles, also known as Okadas. While this may seem like a convenient solution, it comes with its own set of challenges, higher fares and the fear of road accidents. So what is the solution? Transport expert Dr. Godfred Achiadakwa says investing in efficient public transportation systems, infrastructure development and alternative transportation options can help reduce congestion.
They can dualize the road from the very place where the traffic start congesting, straight down to where to the center of the middle of the town. That's another thing. Another one is that government trying to create alternative routes. You see, when you go to Accra, for example, there are so many routes within Accra that are unmotorized because the government has not constructed them. So everybody has to use the main road. But if this link road were to be constructed, people can be used that, and they would not. We cannot see the congestion so devastating like that. When you go to most places like US and other places, people work within the catchment area where they work. If you work, you are working with Flagstaff House area. Why do you go and live in the brick? You have to live within the catchment area. So they have buildings that can accommodate people who are working within that vicinity. And what happens is that it reduces commutations.
Clearly, the cost of congestion in Accra is a complex issue, but it's not insurmountable. By working together, stakeholders can find solutions to reduce traffic congestion and improve productivity. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
Now, beyond the flowers and fanfare of Mother's Day lies a deeper truth for some mothers, one of silent battles and unshakable strength. This is the story of Peggy, a mother whose journey through confusion, stigma and heartbreak led to her to hope, resilience and a deeper understanding of love. Safwan Bohene takes us on this journey.
A cherished occasion celebrated to honor and appreciate the love, sacrifices and contributions of a figure in the family, mothers. Yet behind the smiles, gifts and festivities, some mothers have and are continually facing profound challenges. Peggy's journey is one of resilience and transformation. When her son Obrimpong began exhibiting unusual behaviors at the age of 2 years, Peggy sought answers from spiritual leaders.
He started eating on non-edibles. So plants, paper, soap, poop, whether it was his poop or the sister's poop, sand, anything that he could lay his hands on. So one pastor told us that spiritually, my son is a herbalist, and that Motia dwarf are working with him spiritually. So we had to do so many acupuncture directions. So we were doing some. I had to go to Agbobulushi, go pick food stuff from the floor, and then come cook for him. And he said when I'm going, I should disguise myself. So I have to dress like a mad person. And then another pastor also told me that midnight, I should wake up midnight, 12 o'clock. I should wear white straight to down, pick coins like 20 cedis coins, get to 4 junctions, and then throw the coins. So when I was about to get to the second one, I heard dogs barking behind me. So and here the instruction was don't turn. I was scared. So I couldn't turn. So I realized there was a golf filling station ahead of me. And then there was a security man there. So once I was running to the security man, he also woke up, looking at me in white, also started shouting, Samayo, ghost.
The lack of understanding in sport led her to the brink of despair.
So I was surprised I was even doing... Okay, at that time, I thought I was doing the right thing because I was desperate. I wanted a solution for my son. So it got to a time I became suicidal. And I felt it would be best if the boy goes. And then I told myself, if he goes, I can't live with the guilt and I can't stand the shame. So it's best I also go with him.
A turning point came when she was told about autism.
Through my research, I realized if these kids stay away from gluten, it reduces the symptoms. Because my son was head banging, so he was in helmet for almost a year. So I changed his diet. And then I realized the hyperactive was coming down. After 6 months, this boy stopped eating his poo-poo. And then they recommended some organic plant-based supplements. I got it. Surprisingly, most of the hospitals I went never told me about gluten-free. In Ghana, none.
Today, her 6-year-old son exhibits remarkable progress. He assists with household chores and brings joy to their home. Raising a child with autism can place immense strain on families, often leading to marital breakdowns and leaving mothers as the primary caregivers.
Most of the parents are single mothers. And I have one single father too. So some of the women, the stories some told me, one woman was like, when she gave birth to the child, and they later realized that the child had issues. So the man was like, you are supposed to give birth to a human being and you gave birth to an animal.
An estimated 40% of children under 14 years in Ghana have autism, which makes it a dire condition. A public health physician specialist, Dr. Iranjoa Ahemanuno, emphasizes that children with autism thrive when provided with a strong foundational support system.
Some adults amongst us that are autistic, and they are living their lives. You never know they even have it until somebody even tells you, because of the spectrum. Some have very mild symptoms. And others, so when they have a good foundation from their childhood, they can go up and then they blend in with regular adults as well. So they fit in quite nicely. And don't think that when you have autism, you can't do anything, or you are worthless, or you can't work, or you don't have any talent or skills. No. You can actually train them, to do things. And most of them, they're artistic. They're very creative people.
This Mother's Day, we honor mothers like Peggy, whose unwavering love and strength illuminates the path from adversity to hope. Their stories remind us of the profound impact of understanding, acceptance, and the enduring bond between a mother and child. Safa Waine, TV3 News, Accra.
A good one there by Safa. The ordeal mothers go through. Just a day is not enough to, celebrate their hard work and resilience. Let's still on Mother's Day. Working mothers are navigating a complex balancing act between career aspirations and family responsibilities. Despite the challenges they face, these women are proving that with resilience and determination, they can balance their careers and family responsibilities. Here's a report by Erica Juma Crunchy.
As more women join the workforce, many mothers struggle to balance their work and family responsibilities. Access to flexible work arrangements is rare, especially for mothers in the informal sector. At the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, traders who are mothers share their inspiring journeys, highlighting the challenges and triumphs of balancing business and motherhood. I have 2 children. I used to hawk until I got a permanent place. I skip work on Sundays to do all the chores, but I cook when I get home after work. Now, my children are grown, hence the burden has lessened.
And drinks and I
sell water and other beverages. It is difficult, but I have no option because of my children. I sleep here sometimes and go home the next day. Motherhood is not just a title, but a role that requires dedication, patience, and love. Motherhood is a daily commitment that often involves juggling work, family, and personal well-being. However, it is not just mothers who bear these responsibilities. Single fathers too are stepping up and taking on their challenging task of raising children while managing their own careers and lives. Maxwell Coleman, a single father of 3, shares how he experiences the joys and challenges of parenting firsthand.
It is not easy as a man playing the role of a mother. Basically, we have been taught in schools our mothers are supposed to cook, even though it is not the real situation on the ground. But in my case, I will have to do the washing, do the cleaning, do the cooking, in fact, I'm doing almost everything on my own. I want to entreat everyone to uphold the duties mothers play at home.
As we celebrate Mother's Day, let us take a moment to recognize the hard work and dedication of all mother figures who balance both career and family responsibilities.
Well, Judith, your bias aside, do you also admit that a day is not enough to celebrate our mothers?
Oh yes, I truly admit that, because our mothers do so much, so much for us, and it's not easy.
You are worried.
I can imagine you in particular. I can imagine what you've done to your mom, but she stayed resilient throughout the years, and she's still your mom.
Exactly. So you want to wish her Happy Mother's Day?
Of course, Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Evelyn Awotretando. I love you so much. I think you should wish your mom.
And to also my mother, Agnes Quinn. I know you're watching. I love you so much from the bottom of my heart. We're going for our first break. We're back shortly. Stay with us.
Welcome back. You're still watching Weekend Central, and a special Mother's Day greeting to the Vice President Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, whom I had the pleasure of visiting earlier this morning. She is taking a deserved rest after recovering from illness and looking forward to resuming her duties. To her and all Ghanaian mothers, I say Happy Mother's Day. That's a message that's going to the Vice President, of course. We're going to move on to some more stories. And progressive cashew farmers in the Bono East region are making a direct appeal to President Mahama for the establishment of a cashew processing factory within the region. This, they say, will create jobs for the local youth and boost the income of farmers.
Cashew is Ghana's second largest cash crop and is a vital source of income for many communities in the Bono East region. According to Global Edge, Ghana's annual earnings from raw cashew nut exports is estimated at roughly $251.4 million. This positions cashew as the country's leading non-traditional export crop. However, the absence of domestic processing facilities necessitates the export of raw nuts. In 2020, Ghana exported approximately 139,743 metric tons of raw cashew nuts. Experts estimate that Ghana loses between $30 million and $100 million in revenue annually by not processing its raw cashew nuts domestically. This significant economic loss has fueled discontent among cashew farmers in the Bono East region, who are now actively campaigning for the construction of processing factory in the area.
The fruit that we have here, sometimes the farmers throw it away because they don't have any idea about the fruit. But right now, what I know here right now is that they use it to make jam and cashew fruit juice, and at the same time wine. We get coal from cashew. We get acid from cashew. We get poultry feed from cashew. We get nuts from cashew, and we can even get oil from the cashew. So what I'm asking President or the government to do it for us is that right now they should make a processing company for us, which is going to help all the farmers so that we can never throw anything away.
Such facility, they argue, would eliminate the need to export raw and shelled nuts and simultaneously create opportunities for processing cashew fruit into value-added products like juices.
They import from outside to Ghana so that for us to buy it here. Meanwhile, we have the products here. We can do some for ourselves here without import it coming to Ghana.
Beyond the call for processing plant, the Progressive Cashew Association has voiced its disappointment in the Tree Crop Development Authority. They expressed concern over not being consulted in the election of representative for the Cashew Traders and Exports Association, as well as the Progressive Cashew Association of Ghana.
Usually, after the 4-year term that we meet, we have to select or appoint a representative to represent the Tree Crop Association. But right now that I'm talking about, we have already selected somebody to represent the two groups.
The association believes the lack of consultation could impede their progress, particularly given their significant contribution to the Tree Crop Development Authority's work.
That 4 years na yenipa enka ho no
For the past 4 years, a lot of our things have been destroyed, even to the extent that some of our issues that we would like government to attend to, we are unable because there's no one to speak for us. Meanwhile, we do majority of the job, and so we're hoping that with the change of government, we will be involved in every policy making, but we are not involved in the making of this policy.
Meanwhile, you're progressive for yensa enimubi.
We are equally endorsed by government, and so we can't say they are more than us or we are more than them. But once we are endorsed by government, we should be involved in every decision made.
Well, in more news this afternoon, Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Insurance Authority, NHI Dr. Victor Sare Bampo has reaffirmed the authority's commitment to strengthen healthcare delivery and enhance the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS. The CEO was in the Bono East region to assess the operational challenges faced by healthcare providers.
The CEO's visit began with a courtesy call on the Bono East Regional Minister Francis Owusu-Entry, where discussions focused on the region's healthcare landscape, the performance of the NHIS and strategies for enhanced collaboration between the NHI and regional authorities. Dr. Bampo briefed the regional minister on national reforms aimed at improving efficiency, financial sustainability and subscriber satisfaction. The minister in turn outlined the key healthcare challenges in the region and stressed the need for NHIS to support the population's well-being. Following the engagement, Dr. Bampo and his delegation visited the Holy Family Hospital to gain insight into its operations and the challenges it faces in serving NHIS subscribers. In a meeting with the hospital management, concerns were raised about delays in reimbursement of approximately 10% of NHIS claims, a situation the finance team said severely impacts the hospital's cash flow.
Some 90% payment that were done about 10, 11 years ago. Normally what happens is that we submit NHI claims and then the CPC will say that they will pay 90%, leaving 10%. In fact, and that have been on our books for so many years. We've written about 2 petitions to the NHI head office about that amount to be reimbursed to us, but it hasn't come. So we're very grateful if the CEO can look into it for us.
Hospital Administrator Christopher Akambobnab also highlighted various service gaps, especially in specialized medical fields, and called for improved policies to address these gaps.
We really haven't, from a policy perspective, provided enough protection for RTA victims and to enable hospitals to sustain emergency services. And so over a period, we have a lot of unpaid bills arising from patients like that. Per annum, we lose close to 500,000 Ghana cedis, this hospital alone, and the data is there to support it. This, on a sustainable basis, means a collapse of our facility. If we can really do something in terms of the diagnostics of these patients to reduce the barrier to early and timely breast cancer diagnostics, cervical cancer diagnostics, it will go a long way to.
Dr. Bampo acknowledged the issues raised and assured the hospital team that the NHI is working diligently to address them. He cited initiatives such as Mahama Cares as key interventions aimed at bridging healthcare delivery gaps.
Mahama Cares, which is looking at how we can extend coverage of national health insurance to diseases which are called non-communicable diseases, and also free primary health care. Number 2 is to make sure that the customer experience when they go to hospitals, when they go to health facilities, is a good one. We are having challenges with illegal payments for some of the patients, and we want to make sure that that is stamped out. Luckily, His Excellency the President has uncapped the National Health Insurance Fund, which means that more funding is coming to the scheme. It means that we'll be able to pay providers more regularly.
And our chauffeur Daniel, a street water seller and a level 500 student at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, is urging his fellow youth to explore dignified means of supporting themselves and their parents rather than resorting to harmful activities. While still selling on the streets, Daniel's bigger vision is to establish his own water company to provide clean drinking water to Ghanaians, create jobs for youth on the streets, and help tackle youth unemployment. Here's a report by Bono East correspondent Belinda Tete.
In Tichman Central Business Districts, I met Chopol Daniel, affectionately known as Dr. H2O. The 20-year-old is a level 500 student of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, pursuing a Doctor of Optometry degree, selling pure water in the market. What sets him apart from other vendors is his unique appearance and approach to serving customers with a plate, showcasing his professionalism and respect for customers. Despite initial teasing from friends that made him shy, Daniel's determination to support his parents in funding his education and ease financial burden on them kept him going. Every sale motivated Daniel to continue, enabling him to purchase university admission forms and pursue his dream.
This is what I've been doing to support my parents in the house since 2019, as I earlier said. So when I completed SHS 2021, I was still on the street of Kumasi, Takoradi, Accra. Everywhere that you go, I'm there selling to make money. So I was able to mobilize some capital which supported me to purchase admission fees to KU University. So way back 2019 at my SHS, my secondary level, you see, my classmates used to tease me with Isura. Sometimes I feel very shy, especially when I meet them on the market. I try to hide myself. But at the end of the day, when you calculate the profit and you compare it to the mockery, the teasing that is coming, you have to make sure that you pursue what will help you.
To inspire his fellow youth to support their family's well-being, Daniel travels across various markets in Ghana selling water. He encourages his peers to explore dignified means of supporting themselves and their parents rather than resorting to unwholesome activities.
I'm trying my possible best to preach to the youth. If you have the physical eye and the spiritual eye and the entrepreneurship mindset, I call it the winning mentality. You see that this guy roaming about on the market is preaching to the young people on the street. Now let's wake up and do something small to support our parents in the house, rather than calling people, duping them for money, rather than pulling guns on the street, robbing people for money.
Beyond supporting his parents, Chopel Daniel has a bigger vision, establishing his own water company to provide clean drinking water to Ghanaians while creating jobs for the youth on the street and helping to eliminate unemployment.
So I aim to develop my own pure water company. So very soon, Dr. HCO drinking water will be available, empowering to eliminate or reduce unemployment rate. I aim to employ like many people into my pure water company, those on the street, to work so that we all eliminate or reduce the unemployment rates in Ghana.
A customer praised Daniel, saying he's an inspiration to the youth from underprivileged backgrounds. This young boy is an inspiration to all the youth. He could have decided not to do it because of his caliber, but rather, he considers his parents and decided to do it to support them. While selling water is common, Daniel's professionalism and exceptional customer service set him apart, inspiring others to follow his example. Belinda Tete, TV3 News, Bono East Region.
Indeed, a vision beyond selling. Let us know your thoughts on Daniel's ingenuity. Engage us. We're live on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. And now, the Ministry of Transport and the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, have announced a nationwide campaign to clamp down on the influx of wreckety vehicles operating on major roads across the country. Transport Minister Joseph Boakai said the move is intended to ensure sanity and safety on Ghana's roads. Roads and Transport correspondent Stanley Nibler reports.
Road transport remains the most commonly used means of commuting in Ghana. However, a significant number of vehicles currently plying the country's roads lack valid roadworthy certification. Many of the commercial vehicles, popularly called trotros, are poorly maintained, aged and rickety, endangering the lives of passengers. These rickety vehicles also contribute heavily to air pollution through the emission of toxic exhaust fumes. A majority of the trotros are cargo vans that have been retrofitted as passenger vehicles, often without seat belts to protect occupants in the event of road accidents. The seats in these converted vans are made of hard steel, with some having sharp edges that pose a serious risk to commuters. Additionally, the seats are often not properly spaced, further endangering passengers. As of December 31, 2021, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, had registered a total of 3,026,073 vehicles. Alarmingly, 35%, translating to over 1 million vehicles, had not obtained roadworthy certification in violation of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180. This regulation mandates physical inspection of all vehicles before certification is granted. Despite the law, compliance remains low. Transport Minister Joseph Boakai expressed deep concern over the increasing number of such vehicles on the roads and emphasized that the new campaign will be both decisive and sustained.
We are aware that there are so many vehicles that are not roadworthy on our roads. We want to first engage them, and we have started doing the education, the importance for which they need to maintain and keep their vehicles roadworthy. After the education, we are going to punish any vehicle owner who uses his vehicle that is not roadworthy.
The CEO of the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, Julius Nikwe Kote, reiterated the authority's commitment to enforcing the law by enhancing inspection procedures at all testing centers nationwide.
Private vehicle testing stations, they do roadworthy. So they will check the roadworthiness of the car, the efficiency and the strength of the car before they will issue a certificate. Based on that certificate, DVLO now issues the roadworthy. So if they qualify a car, who are we to say the car is not supposed to be on the road? Or, I mean, you understand? So it is about the PVTs that we need to strengthen and check more and make sure that they are doing what is right by law.
With stronger enforcement, public cooperation and sustained political will, Ghana can make its roads safer and reduce the human and environmental cost of unworthy vehicles. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, if you missed TGMA last night, stay with us. We're going for a commercial break. We're back with more updates. Stay with us.
Telecel Ghana Music Awards TGMA. Now, Kim Promise also won 3 awards at the 26th TGMAs. That's Best Afro-Pop Song, Best Afrobeats or Afro-Pop Artist, and Best Album or EP of the Year. Now, although he came close to winning the Artist of the Year award in 2024, it eluded him and Stonebwoy took home the prize. 3 Entertainment caught up with him shortly after his big win, and here's a report.
Wins the Artist of the Year? It's Kim Promise!
Nothing under the sun will shake me. Kick me home, tell me to come to me. When you see me, you will compose.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm ecstatic. I'm thankful. I'm honored. I dreamt of a day like this, and finally it's a reality. Like I said on the stage, it's from my first year when I started. I had 7 nominations. I walked away with 0, and now today I'm the chosen one. I don't take this responsibility for granted. Representing my people to the world is something that means so much to me. It's like the epitome of my success. Like it's what drives me. So as this mantle has been passed on to me, just know that I'll do everything I can to the best of my ability to represent my people well.
The moment where you came to this award, you walked home with nothing. How were you able to build your mental strength to be here today?
I just kept pushing, bro. I just kept pushing. A lot of people felt like that was going to derail me, but that just served as fuel for me to keep pushing harder. Because I saw, like for me, the first time I came to the VGMAs, for me, I was even just happy to be there, even with all those nominations. And then, you know, all that happened. But for me, it just served as fuel. Look at us today, bro. Like I was saying, any young person out there, I came in first time, I had nothing. Today, I'm the chosen one. So it shouldn't, whatever, there's going to be setbacks. Let's always believe in God and have patience and work hard, bro.
Any plans for this one?
There's so much I have coming. It just got exciting, trust me. I don't want to spill everything, but know that your boy 5 is ready to make this an unforgettable award given to me, because it shall be said one day that he took it and he took it all the way to the world.
Congratulations are in order to our new Artist of the Year, Kim Promise. And now, of course, our entertainment team caught up with some entertainment analysts and pundits after the 26th TGMA. What is the assessment of the event, and did any of the award come to them as a surprise? Just watch this.
Definitely shocking, surprises here and there, but I must admit that this time the performances, bar a few, mishaps here and there, were master classes. Everybody, you could tell that everybody wanted to put in a lot into their creativity, their stagecraft, their creative direction, and so on and so forth. And big shout outs going out to the production team. They were amazing.
Let's talk about the award that came as a surprise.
Well, definitely, International Collaboration of the Year. I didn't see Diana Hamilton and Mr. Chiwo winning that, but the data speaks to the fact that it was actually one of the biggest Ghanaian songs from Ghana on the continent. And also, Best Female Vocalist of the Year. Just like many of us who may be hearing the name of that lady for the first time, I think her name is Esther, you could tell that even the audience were a bit shocked to see that, she picked up that award. Those were the shocks from, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this. But Best Music Video, to be very honest, I didn't see Stonebwoy taking it.
The highlight was when they celebrated Yasapon. It was a very good, memory. I mean, I even shed tears.
Let's talk about the big one, Artist of the Year. Kim Promise, well deserving.
Yes, I'm part of the academy, but now I can show my bias. I voted for him. I voted for him because if you look at the trail in terms of his music journey, he's paid his dues. And the year under review, he did so well in terms of collaboration with the international scene and then traveling and a whole lot of exposing himself. So definitely, people really garnered support for him that, look, this year is the year for promise, and he promised to have the award, and now he has it. So Charlie also can promise.
Judith, my highlight was yes, upon winning the Lifetime Achievement Award. You know, growing up, I've listened to him my entire life.
Yes, and I enjoyed that performance by the lady.
Tiwa.
Tiwa.
With the silky voice.
It was interesting. And I remember when, I think, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, when they came, you realized that they lit up the entire place.
Nostalgia.
Everyone was dancing. And it was very interesting at that point, I think it was at that point that people actually started really enjoying the program. And so that's our wrap-up bulletin right here on TV3. My name is Judith Brown.
My name is George Quinn. To all our amazing mothers and also mother figures in our lives, I equal to all.
Bye-bye.